Guys, it is your life coach, Coach Miles V, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the importance of setting goals and basically just why it's important, right? I once heard, I do a lot of personal development audiobook, I listen to a lot of tapes, and in one of the tapes, Zig Ziglar, who if you've never heard of Zig Ziglar, he is an amazing motivational speaker, just a great personal development guru as far as, personal development, growing, setting goals. He's helped a ton of people. So back to that. So I was listening to one of Zig Ziglar's tapes, and he was talking about, basically why it's important to set goals. And what he mentioned was, if you took the greatest archer, right? The greatest person who could shoot an arrow. If you give them a target, they're going to hit that target 10 times out of 10, because they're the greatest in the world. But if you blindfolded them, would they be able to hit the target? And the answer is basically no. And his statement to that was, how can you hit a target you cannot see? So, and this completely relates to setting goals because, how could you, right? We can say we want to, earn six figures. We can say we want to improve our own well-being, become healthier, become more fit, right? But unless we have specific targeted goals, how would we know when we're hitting them? How we know when we don't hit them? How are we going to keep ourselves on track? Who are we holding ourselves accountable to, right? So, the first reason why I believe that it's so important to set goals is because when we set goals, right, it shines light on our values. And values are respect, integrity, honesty, truthfulness, family, health, well-being, clarity, things like that, right? Because if we have the goal of we want to lose a certain amount of weight, or if you have the goal of you want to make, you want to increase your income so you can take care of your family, then you'll be, it shines light on what's the value there, right? If you want to lose weight, your value's on health. It's your well-being, being able to be fit, be tip-top shape. If you want to make great money, that's shining so you can take care of your family. That's shining light on your value of family, right? And it also shines light on what's not important to you. Because if I just think back to a time when there was a time in my life where I was just doing the wrong things. Honestly, just hurting people, taking, smoking, drinking way too much, doing drugs, and it just became way too much, right? And subconsciously, I wanted to change, and I had the goal of stopping. I wanted to quit. I wanted to be on my path, right? And subconsciously, I wanted to change. And so when I would go to do these tasks, to do that thing, when I would go to do that, it just sucked. The experience wasn't great for me, right? Whatever the feeling was, the high or getting drunk, because it shined light on the value on, it was lighting up the things that I didn't want to be doing, right? Where I was hurting myself and where it was costing me. And then at the same time, it was shining light on what's really important to me, which was stopping and just being clean and just getting my act together in my business, in my band, in my own personal development, and all the things that I'm super, super into, right? So the first tip is it shines light on what's important to us, and it shines light on what's not important to us when we're setting those goals, okay? And the second reason why setting goals is so important is that having something that we're going after gives us a space to grow into, if that makes sense, right? Like growing this coaching business, growing this YouTube channel, like it's going to take practice. It's going to take growth. It's going to take going from here, from here to here, right? Which is like, think about that space, you know what I mean? There's so much opportunity in there for you when you're setting your goals, right? So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Really just gives us a space to grow into, like becoming physically fit. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. You understand. And the third reason why setting goals is so important is that it creates responsibility and we force ourselves to be accountable to something, which is really, really powerful. And if you ever seen read an Instagram post by me, you can follow me at Coach Miles V. So if you've ever read my Instagram post and I'm talking about responsibility is like the things we have to do. We have to take responsibility for, eating, paying our bills, putting fuel in the car, right? Taking care of ourselves, taking care of our jobs, taking care of our kids if we have kids, But responsibility to me is also two words, which is we have responsibility, which is like we can be the catalyst for the change, right? We can be the catalyst for our lives. Like we're that thing that's pushing us forward, So it creates responsibility in the sense of like you're just taking hold of your own life, which is really, really powerful, right? Because if you want to go to the gym 3 days a week, or you want to increase your income, you look at the goal, you look at like the challenges you have to face, right? And then you also have to look at so let's brainstorm some solutions. That's exactly what I do in my coaching business. Like you want to start going to the gym. The challenge is that it's holding, whatever's holding you back, whatever that inner block is. And so let's challenge that internal block, right? And then let's focus on some solutions, right? So brainstorming some solutions, whether it's like, okay, so this week we're going to go to the gym 3 times this week. We're going to eat healthy 3 meals. And then, Tuesday and Thursday, Saturday and Sunday are just going to be rest days, right? Like, just think about taking that first step. That's powerful. Like when you go for that and you start doing it, just like your consciousness and your mind just like expands because you're seeing things in such, you're doing it. And that's something to be proud of. And the accountability sense is that we have to look at what will happen if we do it, right? That's a big question that I ask my clients. Like, so if you went for it, what would happen? Like, what would you gain, right? If you had $1 million, right? Or you got $100, or I got $100. And I say, like, you do this, I'll give you whatever amount you want in this, right? You start going to the gym. You start, you're working towards a promotion at your job. You're practicing some craft, or whatever that may be for you, right? If I had that amount of money, or I just had this amount of whatever it was that you wanted, how much would you gain? Like, let's put a number on it, right? And most of the time, it's going to be 100, or it's going to be like you went for it, you did it. Like, what'd you gain? I'm sure that you gained 100%. You probably even gained even more than that, right? Which is just, that's really, really powerful. And the second question you have to ask yourself is, what will happen if you don't? Because when we go after a goal and we achieve it, we're gaining something. We've just earned our self-esteem rises, So I can do more, I can do more than this. And you can do more of this too. And when we look at what's it costing us, it's like, what's it, by not going for it, costing us in the sense of, it might be costing us, like if we're not taking care of ourselves, right? Being healthy. It's costing us our health. And since our health, our bodies, are like what we take into our body has everything to do with how our mind works. It's probably costing us some type of emotional and mental stress, right? And I'm sure that there's so many different ways, right? So if you went after your goal, what's it costing you, or what will it cost you if you don't do it? That's just really, 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 really important to think about, because that's, none of us want to be in that position, right? So again, to recap, this was the importance of setting goals, why it's important, right? The first is that it shines a light on our values, really what's important to us. It shines light on what's not important to us. Number two, it creates a space for us to grow into, which is just powerful. Like, the feeling of achieving your goals is just so, there's nothing else like it, Like, I've been doing a ton of marketing in my coaching business. I'll just talk about me for a second. I've been doing a ton of marketing in my coaching business, and I'm starting to see results, and people are starting to call me, and they're asking me about it. And this is the second business that I've worked on. And just seeing that, like, the goal of getting some clients, like starting to work with some people, just seeing that that's possible, that's a thing. There's no amount of money, no amount of anything can just replace the feeling of, that feeling of accomplishment, that joy, like just that, like, yes, I'm doing it, So think about that for yourself too, And I'm sure that you felt that. I'm sure you felt that way too. And that's just something to be really, really proud of. And the third reason of why it's important to set goals is that it creates responsibility and accountability. Because we're taking control of our life, we have the responsibility to be the catalyst of what we're working towards, and the accountability to be able to do what we say we do. Say that we're going to, to be, which creates, I think that's all I have to say there, right? So guys, this has been the importance of setting goals. I really, really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you stuck around to the end, please subscribe. Please click that little notification bell button. I've been trying to do a video a week, and, because that's a goal of mine, to do at least one video per week. And, my mission with this channel is to help you to, be that person that's, this is what I do. It's what my mission is to help you. Okay. So guys, have a great day. Be great. And I look forward to seeing you and to hearing from you in the next video. Leave in the comments, what goals you're